probably define our terms a little bit and talk about what complexity actually is. So the first thing I want to clarify is that complexity is not difficulty. Right? Just because something is hard doesn't mean it's complicated. Like the ideas of calculus might be very difficult to internalize, but they're actually very simple and elegant. And I also want to draw a distinction between something being complex or just being kind of big. A box of Lego is not necessarily a complicated thing, though you can make a lot of things with it. Complexity occurs when your systems interact with each other. Okay? And when it takes a lot to get things done because of that. And more specifically, I think the problem with complexity is that your systems can become unreasonable. And when I say unreasonable, I don't mean in kind of like a sort of colloquial sense. What I mean is that you literally cannot reason about them. You don't have the ability to predict what's going to happen. And a lot of the time that's a problem because you got work to do and the thing is crashing and you don't know why. But a complex system can also be generative and surprising if you harness that complexity in positive ways. Last, before we get into it, I want to make just a very small detail point for the more pedantic in the audience. Some people draw a very specific difference between complex systems from sort of chaos math and like emergent complexity. We'll talk a little bit about that as distinguished from complicated systems where you have a lot of just kind of mess. I'm kind of going to float back and forth across both of these without a lot of distinction because I think in this context, either one can cause similar effects.